Greetings, everyone. I'm Shantari Skinner, a graduate student at the Queen's University of Charlotte's Knight School of Communication. In this vlog, I will be addressing Chapter 9 of the book, Communication Literacy, Dialogue and Difference. The chapter title is Intercultural Communication Ethics before the conversation begins, and I will be targeting the power of the inarticulate. I will show a clip from the Oscar-winning film, Moonlight, which takes us on a journey through the life of a troubled African-American male who struggles to identify as gay due to societal pressures and physical violence. I will end with a discussion to connect the clip to a peer-reviewed article by Robert McDougall that explores manifestations of the inarticulate. So, why intercultural communication ethics? Why are they important? Our cultural identities reflect what makes us who we are before we choose to engage in discourse. As our authors of our textbook say, an intercultural communication ethic calls us to protect and promote a given good, the culture itself. We must respect the differences of others by remaining open to the cultures that shape the thoughts and actions of other individuals. Our differences help us to confront issues and to exchange valuable information that can lead to many things. They say that difference is the norm, and we know that culture brings us closer together as we learn more about what makes us different from others. Learning is central in intercultural communication ethics. We are going to encounter many people who we minimally identify with. According to our authors, we view the communicative actions of our own culture as an unreflective norm. We notice our own culture through the meeting of other cultures. They say that culture is like an invisible house that becomes visible when we bump into the limits of the walls that direct our actions and vision without our knowledge. Culture has many symbols that we give meaning to that others interpret and adopt as norms for particular situations. In the United States of America, the individual is seen as the point of communicative origin. Intercultural communication ethics encourage openness to learning about cultural differences. Our worldviews and life experiences shape how we view our own culture as well as those of the other. Now let's get into the inarticulate. Our authors say that cultures most often live in the land of the inarticulate. Charles Taylor outlines the important aspects of the inarticulate, highlighting a sense of guidance and practical reasoning. We make sense of the unclear and challenge issues with it. We risk trying to say what is not ready to be said or cannot be said. Let's use friendships as an example. Aren't there times where you know what a friend means even if the words didn't come out right? Don't you understand them without having to try sometimes? This is the inarticulate as Arnett, Fritz, and Bell iterate through this example. It requires us to watch others, it requires us to listen, and it requires us to do. In watching and doing, we begin to feel the information as learners. We learn culture this way sometimes. This is the inarticulate. Now, we have three terms that the authors give us in reference to intercultural communication among individuals who are unfamiliar with each other's cultures. You have the stranger, a person who could care less about learning about the culture of someone else, who would rather others learn about theirs and adjust to their culture. The guest is the opposite. This person opts to learn, taking their place outside of the center so that they can watch and retain what they see through practice and engagement. They can learn communicative patterns of a culture, becoming assimilated, which turns them into an indweller. Now let's take a look at an example of the inarticulate in Moonlight.
So good, man. So good. Should make you want to cry. It feels so good. You cry? Nah. Makes me want to. What you cry about?
Should I cry so much sometimes? I feel like I'm gonna just turn to dry.
You just roll out into the water, right? Roll out into the water like all these other motherfuckers around here trying to drown their sorrows.
Why you say that?
I'm just listening to you, nigga. Sound like something you want to do.
I want to do a lot of things that don't make sense.
I didn't say it don't make sense. But tell me, like what? Like what lot of things?
Damn, dog. You nosy.
Sharon cursing now, huh? You trying to get smart with me?
Whatever, man.
Nah, you trying to get smart with me, huh, Sharon? Yeah, you trying to get smart with me, huh?
So, for reference, this is Chiron and this is Kevin. Kevin never explicitly talks about what makes him sad in this scene, and neither does Chiron. They are both realizing that they understand each other's struggle as young black gay males, but they do not utter words that would show this. Kevin's body language and eye movement signify his understanding of Chiron's pain. Chiron hits at desiring to be touched with much discomfort. Kevin uses a few words to assure him, moving in closer. Chiron is still reluctant but realizes that Kevin is on the same page, leading to the kiss. Their friendship allows for this to occur in the nature that we witness, as they joke and reflect all while revealing what they both understood about one another. This scene is shaped by the inarticulate with an understood truth that moves the action forward. Communication ensues without the utterance of words, and there's a clear understanding between the two. Sexuality remains at the core of this unspoken language, and body movements solidify the meaning of what is unspoken. Finally, the words fail, and one trusts in a vague sense of a power just out of reach of the right word. This scene from Moonlight directly connects with Robert McDougall's meditations on the inarticulate. They refer to it as the language of feeling. This language is natural to us. It guides Chiron and Kevin's actions and words. McDougall explains the manifestations of the inarticulate beginning with the child, referring to a baby's first cries as our first inarticulate expression to the world. We follow Chiron's life in this movie, which is guided by the inarticulate. He's silent for most of the beginning of the film in every scene as a child. McDougall says that our speech patterns are the expression of clearly differentiated experiences in respect to the affective overtone by which they are characterized, and it is this quality of feeling which inarticulate utterances express. We become more acquainted with this as we learn more about the world, understanding our cultures and their hidden meanings within just a shrug or a shriek. And here are my references. Thank you so much for tuning in.